Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 23 of Direwolf20's Let's Play of Mechanical Mastery. Today's plan, fission reactor. I know we're going to need antimatter, so we're going to need to do the whole fission reactor to fissile fuel to polonium to antimatter processing with the SPS and all that good stuff. So knowing that generally the reactor I make is kind of on the smaller end, it's good for power gen, but it doesn't really produce enough nuclear waste. I decided to go with a bigger one. I'm not doing like a max size, but I'm doing a big one. Though, I don't know, I'm considering doing a max size. The problem is if I do max size, we're really going to need a lot more of this processing, but, it's something we could handle if we wanted to. I am letting this all run, because I'd like to build up a lot of fissile fuel while I'm building the reactor, right? So, let's get started here. I'm just going to double check what the max size would be, and then I'll be right back. Alright, so here's what I decided to go with. Just changed my mind midstream here. I decided to go pretty big. I think I'm going to go 15 by 15. Does that seem cool? I think that seems cool, right? So basically what I would want, let's use a building gadget to do this, because I feel like that's 100% the way to go. So if I went like, that would be right about 15, right? Because chunks are 16, right? So that should be cool. And then if I went horizontal wall and we did this, that should be 15 by 15, right? With one, going up. So then let's go 15 blocks up. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then we can do a quick build to me for each of the corners. And then you can build to me. Okay. And then we're probably going to throw a feral flare lantern up here, right? But that we'll get to. Now, talk to me about grid. Can we bring, like, if we did a 7-ish grid, it would be cool to do that, because that's about what I want, but not quite. Grid mode would be really nice to have here, but I don't think we're going to be able to do it too well. So let's do this. Actually, you know what? Now that I'm remembering, I think we want this, right? Yeah, I think so. And let me throw a feral flare lantern up top here just because I want to make sure that it's good. But now that I'm remembering, this is the reactor that the control rods go on the inside, not on the roof. So we actually want the control rods in here. So now let's get our control rod assembly. And how's my fission fuel? I need more of those. I'm making more crafting storages so that we can make a bunch of fission fuels. But effectively, I want you here. Let's try the checkerboard mode now. So you're going to be like right in the 7-ish range. That's not terrible. So what we could do is something like this. How's that look? Now, if I told you not to place on top, that should be cool. Does that look good? I think that looks good, right? And then we're going to need a bunch of reactor glass, which I don't know if I have quite enough of, but we're about to make a bunch more. So yeah, this is going to be one of the larger reactors I've ever built, but I think that should be fun, right? I think so. So if I did you with a place on top, how would that feel if I anchored it? Well, we'll just place it and see what happens. Pretty close. That's the right stuff? Yeah, reactor glass. Didn't I get some of it? Oh, that's right. Yeah, something like that. Okay, cool. And then we'll probably want a little bit more. Not too shabby. We were just a little bit short. So we're definitely going to need several hundred more of that. I'm just kind of winging it. I'm not going to do all the math on exactly what's needed because that just sounds painful. So now I need to craft all the... so control rods. I thought we were going to have more control rods than this. Maybe I mathed it wrong. Because isn't it... Oh, you know what? I didn't math it wrong. I placed it wrong. Yeah, I knew that looked wrong to me, but that is 100%. Yeah, I definitely did something wrong here. So let's do... so what you're going to want is something like this now, right? That's what we're talking about. That's better. And now we're out. I knew I mathed those correctly. I mathed out certain things. I didn't math out all the things. So yeah, no, we definitely, I was close, right? So now vertical wall for you. Let's bang you up to the 15. Boom. And now you're close to having enough for the next set, which I'll do last, because I want to now bring in these fission fuel rod assemblies, right? So I'm going to need, it's going to be 12 times the 85. So about 1,000 of them. And I've got like a little over 100, so yeah. We'll be back in a minute when this is all done crafting. I can only do 100 at a time because I only have 4K crafters, but that's why I'm making 64K crafters, which are just, you know, there's a lot of crafting involved in that. All right, so let's get back to work on this monster. Looks like I placed some of this down here where it doesn't really necessarily... If I just vein mined you, you'd be cool, I assume? Yeah, I think that was my placing it wrong. Okay, so now we want you guys coming off of here, right? So what if I just use surface mode for this? Because that should be pretty cool. So if I did you surface... I don't need it to be connected, and I don't want it to be fuzzy, right? So then we should have no problem doing something like this. That's pretty good. See, I knew we were going to need a lot of these. Aren't you crafting? Then why aren't you, like, stuck at the top because you're crafting? I don't know, actually. Cool, though, right? All right, looking good. Get in there. All right, like I said, we need a lot of them, so we'll be back when it's all done. All right, I'm not mistaken. I think... Nope, we totally missed a few. We were close, though. We were. We were totally close. Let me throw like 60 more into there. Yeah. Hey, it's tricky. What can I say? All right, I think that's good. This is definitely one of the larger reactors I've ever built, right? I'm going to say yes. All right, so now you should be in vertical wall mode again. And then you should be ready to place right there. And that's looking pretty good, I think. Now, can I vein mine you without you? Excellent. Cool. Now, are you... Hey, look at that. Sweet. Nice. So we can get up to 1,020 millibuckets per tick. Usually we're doing 50. So this is like 200 times more burn rate capacity than we're used to doing. That's... I would call that significant, right? I would call that significant. Now, I know that this is a thing. And I wonder if this could be a thing over here. If I could tick accelerate this whole thing. Future Dyer's problem, but a thing that I'm still, it's, it's a thought. Alright, so with you guys good to go there now, I can put away a lot of this junk that I don't super need anymore, but I will want the reactor ports, because we're going to want water, right? Let's make sure that we can extract a lot of fluids. So, like, what's like a hyper-fast fluid? Is integrated dynamics in this pack? No. I know they have like a nigh limitless fluid transfer thing. Laser IO is pretty fast, but it's not like stupid fast. And it requires so much configuring, I'm kind of the opinion that mechanical pipes are probably better. But let's start getting this thing filled with water. Oh, and I think you also need to know how to make this, because I don't think you know how to make that yet. Okay, and we should probably get ultimate pressurized tubes going while we're at it, right? Because I don't think we have the gas transport yet. And we're going to need this to move the steam. And then that should be cool. Okay, so 100 pipes and 100 of these ought to go good. Okay, let me just look to see what other fluid pipe type things there are, and we'll be back. So I'm going to try something here, because I'm not sure if this is going to work, but maybe it will, and that would be cool. If I did U as a storage bus, right? Extract only storage bus? And can I tell you to just be fluids? Yes, okay, cool. That's neat. So now if I wanted a Evertide amulet, you have 6 water available. And that's cool. Your only problem is you think you're still crafting it, and I don't know why that is. But I'm gonna have to fix that. So let's see, where's my Evertide amulet? Because you clearly don't recognize how you're supposed to work, right? Where is Mr. Evertide? He should be in here somewhere, yes? Why can't I find that thing? I'm gonna have to look deeper. There it is. So let's see if we can, like... So right now, I think it's already enabled for allow substitutions. Try to use fluids instead of items. Substitute ingredients are marked green. That's cool. So that's why that works with that thing. Allow using... Yeah, it doesn't recognize the proper completion of it, though, right? I think the only way we'd be able to fix that would be to make some kind of machine craft it, and that just sounds painful. So I think what I'm going to have to do for now is just cancel the craft every time it goes, and then figure out at some point in the future why that's happening. Okay, so let's see. If we come over here now and we bring on these guys, we should see that there's one little chunk here, right? Now, this chunk that I'm in is the one that I want to load at all times, right? So if we edit this dude, we should be able to keep this thing chunk loaded, and that'll be good. All right, so now what we want to have is, like, I'm going to start with it here, okay? And what I'm going to try... So let's see, you should be output, waste, output, coolant, input only. Cool. I'm going to try the fluid transporters and see how fast they go. And I'm going to try putting on as many add-ons as I can, because I'm pretty sure this is how you speed these things up. Okay? So if I plop down this dude here, and we tell him to empty this, he should very quickly fill up with that. Now, out of curiosity, if I do this, are you filling now? I didn't think so. I was hoping, but I didn't think so. He will dump below, quote-unquote, him. Now, follow-up question. Could I put this up here? I actually don't know the answer to that. I've never tried this before. Is that a valid... Ooh. Ooh. You are filling up with water, sir. Now that's a thing. That's not actually terrible. He seems to be filling up pretty good. Keep in mind how big this reactor is, right? Like, we've already put 30,000 buckets worth of water into this thing as of now. Oh my goodness, what just happened? I don't know. It, like, kicked me out of the UI, and I don't know why. But, I mean, that's fine. That might be a really good solution here. I'm kind of on board with that, right? I might get one more amulet. Like, forget these guys. Let's get another amulet, right? Which shouldn't be a problem. Now, For whatever reason, he had no problem crafting that, right? Now, if I got another... And I'm using ultimate fluid tanks only because I want the extra buffer. I don't know if it means that they transfer faster, but I know that it doesn't hurt. So if I just did this with you and set you to empty and put you there and whacked you with this thing, you should now be draining. And that's kind of cool. That's filling up pretty fast. Now, we're going to have to see what happens once we turn this thing on. But, I mean, right? Okay. So that's a good start to whatever we're doing here, right? I think that's really quite good. And then we can easily expand if we need more. But the fact that we filled this up halfway already is pretty impressive. Remember how long it takes usually to fill these things up when they're this big? I'm feeling pretty good about that. I suspect what's happening is we're getting, what is this, 256 is the limit for these? Yeah, 256 minus 192 would be about 64, yeah. 64 buckets per tick. I'm going to say that's about what we're getting. 64 buckets per tick of transfer speed here. I'm cool with that. I'm calling that good. All right, now I've just loaded this chunk, and this is where my turbine is going to go live. Cool? So let's get ready for that bad boy. So I'm going to do a 15 by 15 by 18 tall. And that's going to require a bunch of stuff, so I'm going to go make it. All right, so here's my understanding of what I need. I need a lot of turbine casings. Technical. Right? Structural glass, we're going to need a lot of that. That's going to be where we start. And I think I've got everything else either almost done or like, you know, really close to done. So how do I want this to be? Do I want this to be like... You could technically be touching this guy if I put you on this side. Yeah, I don't know if I want you on this side. I want you maybe on this side. And you could be like touching. And then that could be... I don't know if he would... I'm assuming he would auto output, and then we wouldn't have to worry about pipe throughput. That could be kind of cool. Right? That could be kind of cool. Why don't I try that and see how it works out, right? So once again, we're going to want a 15 by 15 base here. So let's get you with horizontal wall mode. And if you're placed correctly, that should be 15 by 15, right? And then I want you 18 tall. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 is the height. And then a quick build to me of you. Nope, not you. Why are you doing that to me, Smalls? You know, I'm looking forward to building gadgets too. I've mentioned I'm working on that, right? Yeah. I added a lot of cool quality of life things that I'm looking forward to you guys seeing. I'm just saying. Building gadgets 2 should be pretty nice. All right, and now horizontal wall from you. Really? We don't have enough structural... I would have thought we would. Interesting, because you should be fine. You're at 88 here, and you're at 70, so that is 18 tall, right? Yup. I thought I mathed that out correctly, but maybe I missed some. So you're what? Turbine casings? Give me like 20 more? That might be enough. Back in a sec. Technically, I think I could have put, you know, I could put glass here. Why don't I just do glass here? That could be cool, right? I have enough of it. I can just do that. And then just vein mine the excess that came in. Yeah, that works, right? And this is all glass. It's hard to see, but it's there. That should be sufficient. And then we'll see if the feral flare makes its way over here. If it doesn't, I'll add it. Deal? Okay. So with that cool, then, How about we vertical wall this guy here? Looks like we're going to need lots more structural glass. Though, to be fair, I don't know that we need that much of it. Because remember, at the top, we want a bunch of other stuff. Now, I noticed this thing. I can't tell if he keeps resetting or what his deal is. But every now and then I look at him and the water, like, drops and replenishes. I don't know what that's about. And I remembered earlier I got kicked out of the UI. So I got to keep an eye on what's up with that structure. But something's weird with the reactor there. I know that much. Okay. Let's start building out the stuff for the top here. Now, if I did this correctly, we needed 481 turbine vents. Okay. And we needed 168 pressure dispersers. Okay. And then we need 241 saturating condensers. Sweet. Okay. And then the way we want to build this is actually we put turbine vents on the roof. So we should probably undo you. But I don't have the inventory space to do that. So let me put away the structural glass. And let me put away you. I'll put away the rotors for now. And you guys can go in my backpack. And I don't need this anymore. And now if I undo this, that should be cool. All right. So the entire roof is turbine vents. That. Okay. Sweet. And then we're going to want 3 rows of turbine vents. Like so. So I'm going to do like this, and this for turbine vents. And then we're going to want saturating condensers with surface mode probably would be the best way to go for that. Oh, right. And you also need to be a turbine vent. How's that feel? Saturating condensers? Cool. Okay. And then like right in the center, which is going to be super easy to find, we need our electromagnetic coils. Now, electromagnetic coils need to be placed directly above the rotational complex and must be connected together. Now, it said I only need 5 of those, according to the guide that I'm following. So does this look nice and centered? Not really. I think it's more like this one is centered. That looks right to me. Now, I don't know how placing them matters. I'm going to do that. And then we're going to call that the center. And directly underneath that is where the rotational complex goes. Again, like super duper centered, which I'm pretty sure is that, right? That looks really centered to me. Yeah, that looks right. I'm eyeballing it, but I'm pretty sure that's right. And then all around those should be more saturating condensers. So I'm going to surface mode you again with saturating condensers. And I don't know. I guess I'll just do that, and that's cool. And then there should be turbine vents here. Here. That's correct, right? And then another layer of turbine vents, basically until we run out of it. Pretty sure these guys all be turbine vents. Again, not entirely sure if I'm doing this right, but I think it's cool. Because I know all the turbine vents go at the top. And then there's pressure dispersers around the rotational complex. That might be it. Okay. That's all those. And then pressure dispersers around the rotational complex. So if I do you, and we do horizontal wall and we don't place on top, that would probably be your best bet. Okay, but I don't want you there, so actually undo that. I probably want you closer to like this. That looks pretty good, and I think that used them all, and it kind of filled in the entire layer the way it was supposed to, so that's good. Okay, and then we just run turbine rotors down, and we're going to need some blades. So how about you build for me? So how are you not... So you're saturating condensers... Because I thought you should be going all the way down. Did I do this wrong? So that's a layer of saturating condensers. That's a layer of saturating condensers. I'm doing a 15 by 15 by 18. And the number of things I have, I think I should be good with. So this should be going all the way down, which has me a little concerned. Because he should be going to the bottom. I don't like that. Let me look into this a little bit more, because this is not right. All right, so I tore it down because I'm thinking the diagram I'm following probably doesn't work with this big of a reactor. But basically, you need pressure dispersers all around the rotational complex, which goes above all the rotors, right? So I placed down the rotors. I'm building it from the bottom up instead of the top down, right? Then on top of this dude, it doesn't say how they need to be placed. I don't know if it matters, but I'm going to do something like that. You know, or I guess I could also do something like... That would probably be cool, right? That works for me. And then all around that should be saturating condensers, which I'm going to build like... How about horizontal wall it? That seems cool. But I guess I want to bring you down a bit. How's that look? Is that cool? I like that. Yeah. All right. So saturating condensers and then place on top for another batch. But I'm thinking we might want to do something like that-ish. Is that cool? Sure. So then all the saturating condensers go there. And then it's just turbine vents would be like all this stuff, right? So you would be a turbine vent for, we'll do horizontal wall. And then we'll do something like this, right? That should be cool. And then you can build to me for the rest of them. So I'm probably just going to chill here. And then we'll say 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. How are we for turbine vents? Do we need more of them? Maybe? Now, I'm pretty sure the turbine vents you want to have above... Turbine vents may be placed only on the outside of the structure, at and above the layer of the rotational complex, which is this dude. Okay? But let's just do it like this. Right? How many more of these do we got? A little bit more. At or above the layer of the rotational complex means you can be here, but you can't be any lower. Okay, so since we have a little bit more turbine vents, and it looks like we kind of need them, I'm just going to place them up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. That should be cool. Yeah, and then we can kind of see in there. Like, I don't know if that's something we want to be seeing, but it's all good. And then that might be good. And then we want our turbine blades down here. Bing, bang, boom. Sweet. I guess that's right? I think that's right. And then we can just structural glass, you know, everything else. Is that good? So what I'll do is I will vertical wall you. And we'll do it like this. Are we really that low on structural glass? This. This. Undo that. This one I'll probably do from the outside, but let's see if you guys are all in correctly. You look to be, so that's cool. Now, are you good? You don't seem to be. Something's wrong. Could be close, though. Am I missing something here? So I'm concerned that maybe it doesn't like the fact that they're right next to each other. Like maybe that's causing it to not form for some reason. So I'm just going to copy this whole thing. And hopefully that's, you know, easy enough to replace. So I just might move it all over one. So to do that, we're going to want to clear out a bunch of stuff. So I'll be right back. So I should be able to paste this like right here without too much of a problem. Not a huge problem. Yep. My only problem was I couldn't. We're gonna have to place it again because I didn't have the inventory space for all my structural glass. So then if I place it again, it should. There we go. That works. Looks like it replaced it correctly, so that's cool. You know, in Building Gadgets 2, I'm going to have a cut and paste gadget. And that would have made this a lot easier to do. So let's see what happens when I place all this stuff now. You want to place these manually, by the way, because of the way they work. Are you going to be groovy? Nope, you are just not forming at all. Okay, I don't know what's wrong. Let me come back when I figure out what's wrong. I actually think it's one too tall. That might be a problem. Okay, let's fix that. Hey, there we go. I think it was just one too tall, which is fine. No worries. Sweet. All right, so now with you built now, we should be able to do... I'm going to put away the turbine casings and this stuff. And then that explains why some things weren't lining up properly, because it was one too tall. Dyer can't count. That's on me. So we want valves, right? We're probably going to want like a healthy amount of them. And then we're also going to want ports, right? And we're going to want a few of these. So you're going to want to output steam, right? So we'll have a port here set to output coolant. Okay. And then that should be good. And then here, should be valves. And that's where you're going to let that stuff in, right? And then we get our ultimate tubes. And we'll see if this is enough throughput. And if it's not, then we'll deal with it. Fair? I mean, we can always add more of these things. Sweet. Okay. So now you're looking good. You're going to need a, let's see. I'd like you to have a port here. And that's where you're going to be your flux networky guy. Flux plug. Oh, we're out of that, huh? Okay. That's a good point, right? And then flux plug. You don't know how to make these? How do you not know how to make those? Bad, Direwolf. You need to get to work. And then that will be on a new network called Generators, as usual. Okay. Cool. With a no limit sending, right? And that should be cool. And then we might want an energy trash can. Oh my goodness, look how expensive energy trash cans are. Why are energy trash cans so expensive? Why is this such an expensive thing? Isn't this an expensive thing? It's a very expensive thing. Okay. And then you guys will, in theory, want to, what I'm thinking, what if we had up top here a bunch of ports, right? And then we did like 11? Okay. And then we had our ultimate mechanical pipes. I'm not sure if it makes more sense to have these guys be split or not. They might need to be split. But we'll figure it out. Alright, so we'll just wrench this dude. Cool. Back in a sec. All right, that should work. And I forget if I want you to extract or not, but might as well, right? And I'm pretty sure we want dump excess on over here, right? Yeah. Everybody always yells at me for turning that on, but I always feel like I need it on. All right, so at this point, we are super close. Now, I shouldn't have a problem moving you, right? Fissile fuel gas tank. So let me get a new ultimate tank here. And we're just going to try turning this on real quick before we wrap up the episode and come back next time. Okay? So we're just going to swap you guys out. Now, this is not radioactive material, so it should be fine. Right? And then you're available for this guy to sit here. Right? And we just need another port for this to let things fill in. Because we are definitely at the point to wrap up. Right? But then you should sit here, and you on the back will be an eject for gases, which, wow, you just dumped almost all of it. So that was cool. That was cool. Almost all of it. Neato burrito. Let's try turning it on. All right, so we're going to set the heat level to be like 1 millibucket per tick, which is 1/1000th of what it can handle. Sweet. And we're making nuclear waste. And then you guys are spinning, and we're getting some production of RF. And are you doing water? You are doing water up here. Nice. Okay, cool. And I'm guessing because we have so much water going in here, this is backstuffing, and that's okay. Because we'll be voiding excess, right? So steam input... Steam, we're producing 50,000 RF a tick. So let's try bumping this up just a little bit, right? Let's do like 20. Heat seems fine. Looks like we're handling that just good. Okay. Can we do like 60? Not too shabby. We're building up nuclear waste, but that's all right. We've got a big buffer before it becomes a problem for us. And you're now spinning, spinning, spinning. Right? Doing 3.4 million RF per tick. Okay, let's do like 100 over here. Getting ready to scram. You can tell, right? I'm watching. I'm like, heat. Can we do 200? Okay, so far. Not too shabby. I'm not gonna go to... I guess I am gonna go to 300. Alright, our water's draining, so that's a bad sign. We don't want that to really happen too much. If it gets I'm looking to see if it stabilizes, but it doesn't look like it's gonna. So if I set you to 200 again, now you're filling back up. So we're gonna need more water coming in here, and we might need more steam output if we want to go above 200 millibuckets per tick. And we also absolutely have to put protections in, right? But hey, we've got a nice 12 billion RF that we just generated there. I think that's pretty good. For now, it's wrapping up point. Ep23 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Clearly, we're going to need more of this and more of this if we're going to want, to run this at a hotter temperature. But the structure is built, so that's cool. Next episode, let's come back. Build a battery that can handle this kind of throughput. I'm going to program and probably start crafting all the stuff I need. I might do the the tower thing, so in order to make an induction, right, we're going to need steel and energy tablets. Don't we need these guys? Yeah, these are the guys that need lithium. So I might do the lithium thing off camera. You guys have seen me do the lithium process enough, right? I can do this whole thing off camera, and I'll just show you when I get back. How's that sound? Yeah? Yeah. So let me do these guys, and I'll come back next episode with that already done and ready to place and build the battery. For now, Ep23 sign off. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Take it easy.